All right, everybody, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel, and it's a big day today at KSR. Big day for the lawn dart. Since the last video, we got transmission all back in. Dick's working on the lines this morning for the external transmission cooler. So if you guys haven't heard of any of this stuff, he has an external pit transmission cooler, and you plug into those lines. It draws fluid out of the pan, cools it off, and then we're going to take this fitting off right here, and it's going to push fluid back in here, which will then push fluid into the converter and then through the rest of the transmission, so that every run has the same exact transmission temperature. That's a big deal. So the big news that we haven't talked about yet, because it was going to be kept a secret for a while. Now we're kind of maybe, well, we're about to show it, so it's no longer a secret. You can tell it's done a wheelie before, so kind of did a little boo-boo right there. A little of the diaper embedded into the pan, you know, with some rubber and things. But the old trusty 5.3 is being replaced. And I think they're opening the door right now to bring it in. So let's go show you what's going to end up between the frame rails on the lawn dart. All right, camera. So my battery goes dead when I'm walking out of this, outside to film this, so. Whoa, wait a second.
Ace horsepower coming in the door.
How? There's no way that that's the motor.
It's big enough.
Wait, seriously? Oh wait, that's. Hey, hold on. Hold on.
It's aluminum.
Kevin just got duped.
It's aluminum.
I just got duped.
It's one of them carbon fiber.
Oh, that's the wheel tubs for Spencer's car. Oh, okay. So yeah, we also had carbon wheel tubs coming in for Spencer's car today. Yeah, Spencer's car. So the tubs that you might have seen around on the floor, those were my wheel tubs for my car. But there is an engine coming in for the lawn dart later today. So hold on just a second and we'll show you when that actually gets here. Whoops. All right, no false alarms this time. Ooh, a black box.
An official GM box.
Is it really official? Yeah. Oh, that's fancy. Yeah, you can run it in over there. Yeah, just anywhere you want to put it in there, not under a car. All right, well, I guess we need to get this thing unboxed and we'll show you what the new Bullet looks like.
Yeah, it's really good to see it, huh? Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's got quick, quick
not
release.
like we got to use the sawzall to get into it. Never mind.
So this is an Ace Racing Engines 427 LS2, LS Next 2, LS Next 2 block, iron block.
Making all the food.
427. We're going to see if we can. Dave's going to try to go real fast.
Yeah, want to see the car
Real fast.
Just set out behind my insurance price for 22 years. And,
all right, so we'll get it out and it's going in the car today. Now it won't crank today, but it's going in the car today.
a little like that.
All right, well, I ran it out and got my kids from school. Dick and Jacob pulled the motor out in a hurry. So now it's time to swap over all of the front stuff and things, or at least get it all off to put onto this engine. And we are going to have to move the oil pump there. We're going to have to do a little modification work, because if you kind of think about where the headers are going to be, they're going to be right in the way of that oil pump. So there's what the lawn dart looks like without an engine in it. Fresh torque converter going in. You can see the line down there on the transmission pan that's going to be for hooking up to the external transmission cooler between rounds. Yeah, got the fuel cell out, took the turbo mount and everything back off. We do still have to weld turbo flange to the downpipe. So that'll come after we get the front end back on. Like the new turbo ended up being like half an inch longer or something on the exhaust flange. So that means either the exhaust was gonna have to shift half an inch rearward, or we needed to shorten it to where it would fit. And with it being really close to the tube here, if this went backwards, well, we would either need to beat this pipe flatter or just cut it off like we did there at the very front. Now it was a little weird because basically where the flange was, the pipe immediately turns. So we took all of the thickness that we needed pretty much out of the flange itself, which was quite a bit taller. And instead of it kind of wrapping over the end of the pipe like it did before, now it's just going to be a butt weld right to the edges there, and then we'll got some dressing to do here, but we'll get her fixed up. Shouldn't be too big of a problem, looking at how things were mocking up there a minute ago. But you can see kind of some of the data and sensors that things got going on it. Got the low dollar motorsport shock sensor, boost controller solenoids. We have a front wheel speed sensor that we were talking about previous video. Little bracket that we cut on our arc droid, hiding back in there. I'm not sure if you can see it where I've got the camera set up. See her hiding down in there. Chipping away at this thing. Hopefully we'll be running Monday or Tuesday. I think the plug wires come in on Tuesday. So if we can get everything else done before Tuesday, throw it on the dyno, go to the track Friday with it for the 352 shootout, which is a local kind of heads up race that they do here at Gainesville once a year. And we will be out there with a small fleet. Soccer Mom, the Lawn Dart, hopefully CJ's truck. CJ's had some modifications he did to his truck, and one thing is preventing it from working properly, and he's been waiting on parts, and he hasn't got those parts yet. So we're just gonna make them, because that's what you have to do sometimes. So we've got some work to do here. Probably gonna just set up a time lapse of swapping things around and then getting this new 427 slid down in the Lawn Dart. Here we go. All right, so we are back on Monday. Did not get the engine in the car on Friday because we ran into a couple of problems. For one, they sent us the wrong flex plate that goes with the engine. Sent an 8-bolt instead of a 6-bolt for the converter flange. So we're stuck there. And then also the poly intake manifold. I don't know if you can tell, but like that is the cylinder head hole size. And obviously the intake is like, that's almost actually it probably is an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I've taken it over here and gotten it cleaned up. See, opened the ports all up, got them pretty good looking. Much bigger than they were in stock form. Maybe you can see that. So, well, that light's bright. So little things that jump up at you, and you just gotta fix them. So Dick and CJ are working to get the short block in the car now, and we're gonna just plan on using the old flex plate that was on the 5.3, at least maybe for dynoing, maybe even this weekend at the track, depends on if the new flex plate comes in. Only takes like 30 minutes to snatch the transmission out of it. So maybe we snatch that out on Friday if the flex plate gets here, or we just run it, because this weekend is probably not gonna see full power anyways. Just getting used to the new power management and all that kind of fun stuff. And we also have to fit the oil pump, which is what CJ's working on. It came with some brackets, but those brackets won't clear the headers. So we're working on a little something there. And yeah, just chipping along. Got to get this thing in. We need it running tomorrow so that we can make our goal for the weekend. Maybe it runs today. We'll see. Anyways, I got to get back to work. All right, so I figured I'd walk you guys through this port matching process. You know, it's something you might hear a lot about that people do to their intake manifolds and stuff. So let's show you in very, very, very fast motion what that kind of looks like. So you might be able to tell that I'm really taking a lot of material out here very quickly, and I use a very aggressive carbide bit in the end of the die grinder that's really removing a lot of material. And I also use some just plain old transmission fluid. You might see the bottle that I'm squirting in there. Just squirting some transmission fluid on it to help lube the cutter teeth on the carbide. And I'm trying to remove as much as I can with the aggressive porting bit, but still be relatively smooth. I mean, that bit does leave a pretty aggressive finish. And then I move to a flap disc. It's like a circular flap disc arrangement. Put it on the same carbide piece. And then there's a tool that I'm using like right now that's a very small, like 1/4-inch arbor with sandpaper rolls on it that I can use to blend all the way down to the top of the port, all the way back up by the intake plenum. Like a lot of things in racing, smooth is fast, and you don't want any like real abrupt transitions in your ports. All right, well, a couple hours later for the second half, and we've got a ported intake. I still have to clean it, obviously, but got her nice and smooth all the way through. And you notice that I went all the way up. So the idea is to blend it all the way from the end, instead of just making it where it's tapering down and then gets bigger all of a sudden right there at the end. So it's a nice smooth transition. Kind of see down the edge of the port walls there. I think it's pretty good. Guess we'll find out when we go to boost this thing, but I made a giant mess. That's all dust and shavings, and yeah. And it's all over me too. So we'll go eat lunch, and then I'll clean up my mess, and then we'll bolt this on, and hopefully the engine will be in the car by then. So checking stuff off the list. All right, well, assembled intake manifold. So that's ready to go on, but the engine's still out. So we set it in, or at least Dick and CJ had set it in, and there was an oil drain back. Ooh, that's still wet. There was an oil drain back right here. Well, it was colliding with the rack right there, and so it wasn't allowing it to go all the way down in the chassis. So we decided to weld a bung down there. So now the oil drain will kind of come down some way or another, follow the line down from the oil pump, and it'll get down inside the diaper and then land on the, on the bung. Dick also has a oil pressure regulator for the turbo, and it has a return line that runs back to the pan also. I don't know where he put it, but somewhere around here. And it, it's going to have a little line that bleeds a little bit of pressure back to maintain only 40 psi at the turbo itself. So another little thing we had to do, this block was originally full width, and we had to do a little machining right there because this is actually our lower mounts for the motor plate. So we have a mount there that's really close to the crankshaft center line, and then the one that's out here on the frame rail. You can kind of see him down there, hiding, coming up off the front subframe there. And I've always, like Soccer Mom's got something like this. You can see how close it is, tucking in around the rack. Gonna do something kind of similar on Spencer's car over there, which we've got a lot of work to show you that's happened on that thing. But that won't be this video. So, kind of moving along, getting this thing ready to go. Dick's got us a nice list over here because we've got to get this thing up and going for the weekend. A few things we've checked off of there. Port the intake, got the fitting for the regulator return. So yeah, got a bunch of stuff that has to happen tomorrow so we can overnight some belts in that are going to drive the oil pump and the fuel pump. These things are gonna get a little complicated. So anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I don't know how long this one ended up being. Maybe kind of short, I don't even know. But we're hoping to have the motor in, but sometimes things don't go according to plan, as we have proven here with this. But the last thing we've got to do, so oil pump mounting, got to measure for a new fuel pump, measure for a oil pump belt, and then I have to fabricate a new 2.5 inch hot side into the turbo. Dick also got the old V-bands cut off of the headers, so I'll weld those on tomorrow, and then maybe in the process of getting all of that taken care of and the belts, we can fabricate a new hot side into the turbo. Yeah. Anyways, it's late. I'm ready to go home and edit this video. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate everybody that bought some merch on our little merch sale for the Danger Ranger 9000 win. Anyways, see you guys next time.